Yo, Ballroom Blitz, 6-0. Try to get on there, fix the channel. Just back outside, try to hack my stuff. Probably is hacking it right now. I can't be concerned with this stuff right now. The only thing I'm going to do is just one shot them in existence. Call it dunsies. Anyway, part of my personal study, which is known as the most common political system of the world as a whole. As stated, a political system is a ideology system that state how a country or a government should be run and how a the output or the views of laws should be made. Who is it made for? Who will it benefit? Who will it not benefit? Who will it takes from as well. There are over 300 different political systems throughout this planet era and stuff like that. So but the most known ones are the ones that have more current day usage, or should I say, live longer in history or made it into the history, or as they say it, the stories of life go to the victor, not the defeated, meaning no matter, even if history is as that, meaning even if you get taught history as that, did it really happen that way? We all know Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Can't discover a place where people are already there. Slash, we knew the Vikings discovered it, America at the time, and they didn't even discover it. So, but it's still being taught in history and stuff. The same thing with amendments. The same thing with China or Japan or Russia. You are taught what they want you to teach. So, in political terms, or the political system of the world, you are taught what that nation or history or the world as a whole. As I stated before, I think I did this already. I'm giving it to another one. I'm gonna, you know, stuff like that. I'm giving their terms, not mine. I would never get my terms on this channel. I will be making a new YouTube channel as a whole, and I'm gonna try to do the same videos on there, on this one on there. This is my third freaking, actually my eighth one. Douchebag hackers, douchebag neighbors, douchebag hackers, douchebag people, planet existence. I can't be concerned with it. I don't care. Where's that red button at? I'm still trying to find it. Anyway, um, like I said, I'm gonna try to make a new YouTube channel, and actually, I might be done with YouTube. I'll just like make my own server and make my own video channel. That way, I can have my people make their own stuff and get subscribers on that way, and without much bullcrap restraints that's hypocritical hypocrisy at its finest and stuff like. Anyway, there's democracy, there's republic, there's monarch, there's communism, and then there's dictatorship. Yeah. Now, how the system is run by is based on your viewpoint. For the democracy, like United States, at its core, United States is a democratic state. That's what founded the Independence Declaration of Independence. The first 15, 20 amendments, actually there's over 40 amendments, but the first 20 amendments, the Constitution of the United States. And yet somehow we have a Republic Party. Yeah. Anyway, democratic is a system that allow individuals or male or female, well, it's hard to say. Democrat is a system that has multiple people getting together that make a decision based on the choices of the people. United States was based out by the people, for the people, of the people. And that is mainly Democrat. That's what Democrat is. A direct democracy is that any random smuck can come in and they say, hey, we are part of the system. We all should get together. Everyone decide on what laws, make it a set on it, and agree on it. Now, that's represent democracy. What is U.S. today is made of mostly, as well as the liberal democracy and democratic socialism, where you have representatives that represent your opinion, even though they don't, and state what you want, even though they didn't ask directly, and figure how you go. So there's House Representative, the Congress, And then that's the same thing with the UK because they're moving more towards the full blown democracy instead of the prime minister. I mean, prime minister, but it's still democracy. China is communism, but it has a democratical setup on the inside of it. It's the same thing with Switzerland and Sweden as well. Then there's Republic. It is governed mostly by certain group of people or nobles, I would call them, and it has the benefit of having certain people that knows how to run the business. It could be single party, it could be a capitalist, it could be a federal republic, a parliamentary, like old school Britain used to be. There's a benefit of republic and democracy. Republic, you have more as a benefit as being run by a republic. You run by a certain elite group of people, and to get into the Republican Party, the Republicans themselves must vote on who in or you pay your way in. The main benefit of Republican is that for U.S. Republican wise, that the they put more benefit into the military or to the government than to the people, or they put benefit in both, but the more power goes to the government. Democrats they put more power to the people, but this can be a confused term because sometimes in order to put more power to the government, you want to put more power to the people would make it democratic, but in order to make it possible successful, you must put more power to the federal than to the people themselves, which make it more Republican than Democratic. So yeah. And then there's the monarch section when there's a sort of political system run by a king who has their nobles, which is similar to republic, and it's similar to democratic, with the exception that the king laws are absolute, and the only way to overthrow the king you would have other votes or who offends the king or queen or emperor, empress, whatever, or in between. So ladies and gentlemen and those of unspecified genders, whatever. And that's pretty much it. To become a noble, you must become super. Throughout history, mostly nobles. The start of noblism is the start of elitism, but elitism basically by having the most money, having the most knowledge, or having a set of power or charisma to get people under you, and you have become a noble, and after that, it's become out of bloodline, or you rose yourself up to that position where it's the same thing as I just did it before: money, power, and knowledge, or charisma and stuff like that. That's monarch. And that could be confused with Republican Democratic because there's the A team, which is similar to monarch, and then there's the B team, which is similar to monarch. Congratulations. And in monarch, there's a elective monarch where a person is elected to become king, and before they die or queen or whatever, they must choose someone else, but it's still elective, but it's still a monarch. That's absolute monarch, which is similar to dictatorship, where the only difference between a dictatorship is a person runs everything. There's no nobilism, all that stuff, which is pretty hard because dictatorship is more on along the lines of a person rules everything. There's no opinion or say so, but a dictatorship can fall due to the people underneath. But stuff like that. Um, there's benefit to everything. There's communism where it was taught by Marxism that to isolate yourself from other countries and what's Marxism and to fix your own stuff. Now, Marxism origin stated that this for Russian stuff way before the Soviet, I think it was during the Soviet Union or after the fall of Soviet Union, that instead of worrying about what other people say, you need to fix your own inner country. And that's why I hear what people in the U.S. say, that the U.S. need to become Marxism to screw what every other country does. We need to worry about ourselves first, and we are not trading with other countries. We are not getting stuff from other countries. We're not paying other countries. They're not getting our stuff. We're not getting their stuff. No one in, no one out. Marxism. So that's what basically what communism is, with that, stating that the government decides your fate. And as I stated before, communism is more like a caste system. But sometimes communism has become more of a socialist or worker state where, aka nobilism, or a certain group of people decide your fate. And then all this stuff is could be into one each other because you can say Democrats communism because you have certain people to represent you and they know nothing about you, your wants, your desires, your needs and stuff. And then there's Republic who put more benefit to one over the other, and you still have that A team, B team. And then there's a monarch, you still have that A, B team, and the king, queen, emperor, empress, or unspecified agenda could still be a total douchebag and have no one on it until you slip off a banana and someone else replace it. Congratulations. And you still have the A team, B team due to the fact that even under highest statute, there are those who are close to that person or furthest from the person. And then the same thing with communism, even with Marxism or Leninism, it's still the same thing. Now, communism is not Marxism. Marxism is a state of country affairs. Communism is more of a how the affairs are run by. Communism was invented by Confucius from China, who somehow spread to Russia, who somehow spread to Ukraine, and somehow spread the whole planet. Yeah. Now, dictatorship has always been around and still is today. Even in Democratic and Republic, you still have dictatorship. Dictatorship is basically the biggest person of that group leading the group, or the dumbest person, or the most charismatic person. No matter how you put it, charismatic is the ability to get people under you. There's no other way. It could be a good way, it could be a bad way. But it's the same thing applied to everything else as political due to the fact that in any country similar to US where you vote a person in, it's still CRISPR. Like Russia, Vladimir Putin been the freaking prime minister for like so many times in a row. It should be first it's illegal for them to do that, and then somehow they changed the law where it's not legal and he's still coming back over and over again. It's the same thing with freaking Saudi Arabia with the king there, and he just offering his siblings and stuff. Like, you're not putting benefit of people first and stuff. Like, yeah, we siblings, we family and all, but we think I'm gonna get ready now. Blood is not thicker than water. Water is life. Wink. And the same thing with Republic, freaking some of the Europe countries, how they complain about, oh no, UK left the EU Union. Of course they are. You tax them way too high for everything. Why wouldn't they leave the UK Union? And then there's an argument about that is, for what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, that if you stay in the, they stay in the UK Union, of course everything gonna be super expensive. But now you left of it, everything's still super expensive. So what's the difference? And then the argument state that if the government get the head off their shoulders, they can change the stuff around. And that's the opinion about that. My opinion is not that really much about it. UK pretty much kill all their animals, so they don't have that much food supplies they can get in. They had to get it from UK, the rest of the EU, but in order for EU to get their food supply, they still didn't get the rest of the world. And basically, the way it's set up says everyone owes someone. Everyone is owed to by someone. Everyone trade with someone. U.S. still get the most electronics from China. China still get most of their weaponry from Russia. Russia still get most of their food supplies for certain parts of Africa, and Africa gets absolutely nothing. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot I was brown. I mean black. Oh, yeah, I'm being brown. Almost forgot about that. Who am I? Anyway, you know, that's probably why I got kicked out of Africa. The first thing I said, maybe I should sink Africa and just destroy the whole system. And like, no, that's just a talk everyone always had. I mean, if Africa was not here, everyone just drowned out due to the fact of the major resources. But in terms of political systems, when you have five different world countries, this first world, which is like U.S., Russia, and China, which I would never consider Russia a first world country. The second world countries like Russia, where I put them at, and certain part of South America due to the many countries in the side of a continent, as well as Mexico and freaking certain parts of Europe. Then there's third world countries similar to Saudi Arabia and certain parts of Africa, Egypt, certain Europe countries and South America and certain stuff like that. And there's a fourth world country like Middle East and some parts of South America and Europe. And then the first world countries like all most of Africa and some South America, India, and all that stuff. And yes, we know what first world countries are. They got a crap in the stick. We dump our trash down. But anyway, in terms of political system, there's democracy, there's republic, there's monarch, there's communism, dictatorship, and then you have another 255 where it's tribalism, and then there's freaking plantilism, and then there's caste, which I said is the same thing as communism, but it's caste, and then there's freaking oglit, where you freaking I call it more tradition. It's traditionalism. That's pretty much something where all of them start going to unique name where traditionalism say, if you kill me, you get the leadership. But if they kill you, five of them get the leadership. Congratulations. Thumbs up. You know, political system. Anyway, this is just my personal study. As I stated before, I'm still doing this final class. Middle finger to all and all. Good night. I got electronics up, but I did not want to do electronics because I wanted. Before I moved here, I bought copper boards. I bought some electronic kits, and I bought a solder, and I bought some toner to make my own PC board. I was gonna mine for some copper, but to make my own freaking printed circuit board. And so yeah, how to make wafers and CPU and GPU chips, but you know. I also gotta make. I want to make a scope, a gun scope, a firearm scope. But yeah. Anyway, I'm out.